She just goes crazy. I am pissed off too. Like, where's my FMA circle? Yes, this is like... Oh my god, this is like... I'm just losing it. Well, this is an anime for mental patients. Whoa. Nanahoshi really loses it. I like how she waited like a minute until he left. Okay, she's not okay. Are you okay? She's not okay, Rudy! That's not an okay face! Rudy, man, his ability of like insight. Are you okay, girl? It's like, I'm not okay. Okay, you gotta carry her now? Okay, she's like dead inside. Yeah, she's mentally broken it. Anyway, guys, where's the Mushoku Tensei reaction review and so on? This will be quite a behavior science thing here then, with Nanahoshi. But honestly, I think it's a perfect episode for me. I'm gonna combine my data science with my behavior science, right? You know, I have several degrees, and Nanahoshi is both like a mathematician, data girl, and also has mental issues. So it's perfect! It's perfect for me, guys. If you like the video, subscribe, slap button, and let's check it out. Here we go. Start. And the sound on, so I ran home quickly, guys. What is it? Timer? Ah, there's also okay. Yeah. I had to run home really quickly to not miss the start here. Just sat down and fix. Oh, it's letter from dead. Letter from dead. There we go. This looks good too now. Yeah. I had to really like my hammer. I used to go home like used before. I ran home. Okay, so that is Eastport. Let me see, that's that. Yeah. Oh, Roxy's there. Yeah. Oh, that's a character from the opening. It's like a new character in the opening I saw earlier. Yeah. Oh, it's gonna be Onishan! It's Onishan! It's definitely Onishan, man. Definitely Onishan. Onishan, definitely. It's definitely our beloved Onishan. Like, there was a man that promised to protect your sister. So like, could that be? It has to be Onishan, come on. Has to be, yeah. There we go. Yeah, Paul Greyrat. I'm the eldest son. He's the oldest son, but yeah. This will be later. Let's be Onishan. He comes to opening, which I think is very forthcoming, right? Opening is very forthcoming, come on. Whew. But yeah, I ran home. There a time. Took longer time than expected. And obviously I find the opening, as I keep saying, very spoilery. It's like... C probably gets children. Dad probably dies, right? Give his opening. And obviously gonna save mom from a hide or something like that. The sisters probably come in episode. Yeah, I think the sisters probably will come now, right? Since we're opening on. Given Dad's letter there. They probably arrive this episode or next episode. Probably this episode. Where did I put my drink? This, Mom! And Roxy-chan. Yeah, the best part of the opening. Look, even Ilinas does something, yeah. Grandma does something. As if he's so silly from last week, guys. I feel so silly from last week, right? And I was like... Because it was so obvious. You know? It was so clearly, like, well, yeah, of course Ilinas has a lot of children, right? Yeah, it's like, oh yeah, she's someone's mom, yeah, of course. It felt so obvious when you when you saw it, like, oh yeah. Like, when you actually had it, like, oh yeah, that makes perfect sense, she would be someone's grandma. It's like, oh yeah, of course. Okay, so Sylphie's a waifu. She's very waifu-y. She's like, I will cook food as well.
父さんから手紙が届いたんだ。
パウロさんから？
Paolo-san?
みんな無事みたいだ。
Father-in-law?
そうよかった。
That's mom though, yeah.
それで突然だけ
Here
ど
we go.
妹が2
Sisters,
人
yeah, Imoto-chans. Yes, lively household. They can be like nannies too. You see, you have to think about it. We can use, of course, the great heavy sisters here. You can use them as childcare, yeah. The Isaac can take care of the baby, yeah, it's perfect. Seriously, that's probably gonna happen, right? Probably. That being said, though, actually isn't that. In medieval time, certainly a lot of people live together, like, you know, all the family, like grandpa, grandkids and everything, yeah. Of course, much more common in medieval time, medieval Europe, so not actually unheard of that, like their aunts, I guess, then yeah, their aunts, I checked an aunt right there, and take care of like her nephew or whatever. Oh, they want to own me? This is like a wedding gift. Yes, I'm sorry for owning you, but yes, I can't teach you healing magic? So do I need that? This feels kinda forbidding now. This to me feels forbidding. Like, I don't know. Like he can't heal him. If he's gonna die here now. Yeah, Rudy has some weird man. I think he can't learn healing magic. He's struggling learning healing magic. I think someone's gonna die now. Like probably Sylphiette died from this thing. Like he couldn't learn healing magic. Oh no. Yeah, come on. This to me feels quite like death flaggy. Yeah, it's like, oh, I can't learn it because I'm a bad magician. So I don't know, guys. I feel death flag massive here. Rudy can't really master healing magic at all. And our Sylph is failing mastering his like disruptor magic thing. She can't use that thing. Yeah, I don't know. She's. Oh yeah, will our kids be good at magic? Yeah. Oh my god! Call them all! Well, they will likely be good at magic, right? Because they have like magic mom, magic dad. Yeah, so half elf Rudies. You can have a mistress! Oh yeah, see if it's open for several children. Yeah, it's like she's just like, it's okay if you get this Roxy and Ares and all of them. It's okay for me. Goddamn Sylphie, don't say that. He's gonna take the word for that. Oh, Mr. Rudy's like, yeah, a mistress? I was already planning to. Come on. Ugh. Rudy's like, yeah. But yeah, so here's Nanahoshi is back. The 7-star lady. So again, right, her storyline seems to be wanna go back home. Oh, she's gonna Isekai someone else? Oh yeah, I don't know. She's like, I will summon someone with this thing. Or something at least. Yes. Yeah, that's... Okay. Makes sense. More mana. Like, new, yeah, like law of, yeah, I guess, kinda. I mean, to some extent, it's like the law of physics. Yes, you have mana, but you still have to have it in a video game. You need to have your mana, right? You can't just like have, you know, it costs you mana points, right? Like a video game. I guess, kinda, but this gives me some Metal Alchemist vibes now. Oh no! He's gonna summon dead mom or something. It's gonna be zombie mom. Oh no! This is gonna go bad, man. He's gonna like homunculus mom will appear or something. This feels like really bad. This feels like I'm getting some, you know, Nina flashbacks here. I'm getting like some Nina flashbacks. Oh no. Intensifying Nina flashbacks. It's like, oh no. Don't do like a giant circle on the ground and be like, we're gonna summon something. Yeah, it's like, oh no, oh no. That being said though, FMA is an Isekai too, yeah. They have the real world and the anime too, right? They have like different worlds too, yeah. They can opening gates and so on. I have this t-shirt somewhere. With it's a beautiful FMA t-shirt that I had. Oh my god, it's like one of my best shirts. But I don't know where it is, but it's somewhere in some. Hopefully, it's somewhere in some closet somewhere here in the house. I haven't seen it in years. It's somewhere under something. But it's beautiful because it has all the different like the different scripts and so on. It looks beautiful. Or like a cultist clothing. It looks like I'm either a cultist or it's like a badass outfit. Yeah. But that gave me some FMA PTSD there. It's like I don't know. Will it? No. Okay, now it's like my monster appearing me. No, she just loses it. Okay, she just goes crazy. But I am pissed off too. Like, where's my FMA circle? Yes, this is like, my God, this is like now she's losing it. Well, this is an anime for mental patients. Whoa, Nanahoshi really loses it. I like how she waited like a minute until he left. Okay, she's not okay. Are you okay? She's not okay, Rudy. That's not an okay face. Rudy, man, his ability of like insight. Are you okay, girl? It's like, I'm not okay. Okay, you gotta carry her now. Okay, she's like dead inside. Yeah, she's mentally broken. And a psychologist. Yeah. Man, she's just Soba is super powerful. He's like, he's giant powerful. She had like a mental breakdown completely. No, because she wants to leave this planet. He probably told them she wants to go home or something, without telling them that Isekai, right? Grandmaster! I don't know, I like to call him Grandmaster. It's cute. It's adorable. Oh. Okay, I guess you can just leave. Yeah. I guess you can just like be in a coma or something. But yeah, Nanahoshi is like a mental breakdown. Just I don't know. I also want to carry something. It's like what? That weird shit. Well, she just like she gives me food and alcohol, so that's what I care about something. Yeah, she's just like she's just happy getting fed or something. Yeah, it's easy to make her happy. It's like she gives me food, and that's all I need. Yeah, it's like that's a good point. She's probably been eating badly, whatever. But she probably has like a pizza or something as a favorite food from Earth. Yeah, she's like, I want Japanese sushi or something. She wants something from Japan probably. That doesn't exist in this world, right? Wouldn't surprise me. She's been sleeping for a long time. Oh, so you got a dagger for some reason? Is it for deleting? I don't know. Does he got a dagger? Probably used for work. Well, this episode feels very dark, man. It's like probably used for her scripting stuff. Yeah. I feel an issue with Nanahoshi said I don't know why she wants to go back home for. I mean, I understand it generally. Yeah, you want to go back home or whatever, but I don't feel they have really. Maybe this episode will explain like why she's so desperate going home. I mean, maybe it's like, oh no, my sister's sick, something, you know. Honestly, I feel it probably better if she has like, I need to get back home quickly because my mom or my sister or whatever, like my husband is sick or whatever. Yeah, if it was something like, if it was something that kind of pushed her to be more in panic mode, unless just hating fantasy world. Because now she just like generally wants to go back home. If it's like, that's just like, oh, I hate this world, I want to go back home, right? Yeah, he's very physically strong, that's true. Man, she looks like dead inside again, man. She did sad episode, man. She has like a mental breakdown here. She like stares at the window. She's just broken. Oh my god, this episode is dark, man. This episode is dark now. She stares out the window, empty. This is a dark episode. Okay, now she can talk at least. I like she does it like in computer science. Yeah, she's like, it's like a circuit board. Yeah, it's like a PSP or something. Yeah. What's going on again? PSP? Personal circuit board? PCB. Yeah. So it's a better bus or something. It's probably the bus fault. Her code is bad, man. Oh. This is... Okay, so they're all gonna work on her code together. Yeah, they're all gonna like work teamwork, guys. But maybe Ilinase, being an old grandma, might have some, you know, Asian magic knowledge here. So I thought pretty Cliff is a genius. I don't know, Cliff is like, I get it. I like, Cliff is like, I understand what, yeah. Her code is wrong, guys. It feels like they're doing some kind of weird math problems. Like, I see her math is wrong. Oh, like several layers. Yeah, exactly. Ah, layers! Ah! Yeah, it's layers, right? It's like several dimension on this circle. Yeah, it's probably layered, like it goes down in the sense, right? I mean, it's almost a 2D platform, but it's 2D, but it's actually layered, right? Like the different circles are actually like in 3D in a sense. You have to think about it in space, right? Yeah, the guy building dolls are a genius. Okay, I built this. Yeah, I mean, obviously it's two circles on it. No, but it's obviously dimensional. This is super obvious. I mean, for me, it's super obvious. I don't know. I think it's very obvious. They're obviously like layered. Yeah, it's obviously layers. I don't know. To me, it seems super obvious how it works. And now it's like, hey, Hannibal, I got you. But I like Cliff is apparently really smart, apparently. Yeah, I've never really seen him to be like, oh yeah, I can solve this thing. Kinda. Oh, she's so sad now. She walks around and like, she sits there, looks sad on the floor. Yeah, like that, exactly. Exactly. Layer, man. I mean, obviously it's layers, right? I keep saying it. For me, it's like a super obvious code issue or something. I don't know. Science. It's science, baby! I said it earlier. I said it before he said it. I said, oh, it's gonna be layers. Put it together like that, right? We can construct it. I called it, man. I spent it 10 minutes ago. Yeah. Yeah, you need to put it in layers. She's talking about... Exactly. Yeah, she's talking about this like she was like always like circle board, yeah, but you need to be 3D, girl. She limited herself to not be 2D. Now she's like, oh, I see it now, yes. 3D printing! Ah, see? I like Cliff now as a genius now. Cliff is like, I understand. Pretty smart, Cliff! I'm a genius! I like how Cliff is that you have to be like, of course, I'm a genius! It's like, he's actually pretty smart, this guy. Nasa, that's my husband. Yeah, that's my latest husband. But I said earlier, I don't know, as a scientist myself, right? Obviously, super. It's like easy. Yeah, I don't know. For me, it was like this is exactly how I've done it. You need to put on layers and put them up and combine them. It's like I don't know. And then they're fighting there. Like they're all living together. That's cute. You're living in. It's like it is obviously based on science, right? Like I said earlier, computer science. And yeah, it's kind of obvious. You need to have more layers. You need to just combine it so you have different ways to make it 3D, basically, right? But here we go. Now it's a 3D circle. So now it works. Now everyone's treated dog. It's gonna be like the Nina scene. Nina PTSD test again here. Oh, they summoned like a bottle from Earth. Isekai! This is gonna be a backstory now. The time I died, I got Isekai becoming a bottle. Plastic bottle. The time I got Isekai to become a plastic bottle. Yes! Plastic bottle! the time I got Isekai to become a plastic bottle. Yeah. So you gotta reverse it. Yeah, so you gotta reverse it, right, of course. But summon... Did you want to leave? Summon anything. I just want... That's just me like, oh my gosh, you're not my friends! Like, sundering immediately. I don't. You guys are not my friends. Like, okay. Yeah, you owe us for this. Alright, fine. Yeah, it's like... yeah, you owe us a party for this. Yeah, it's like... But, interesting, she said, I can summon anything. Thought she wants to leave, right? Yeah. I hope it's a spin-off, though. The time I got Isekai and turned into a plastic bottle. Yeah, it's like... Everyone's happy. But I guess she's also more friendly than everyone now. Yeah. Now she's like, arigato, okay, fine, you guys are my friend. Yay! I like how the first on it too, they didn't do anything. They didn't do anything. Yeah, I was just staring at them like, what do you want these people? Yeah, they didn't do anything to have it all. I don't know, there's different food, I guess. They're making fun of Sylphiette now. Yeah, I don't know. They're there to eat the food. The sisters though, the immortals, are they gonna appear now the last minute? No, she's all happy here. All happy. Nanahoshi, yeah. Man, her mode swapped a lot in this episode. Let's review it. As a scientist, as a psychologist, as a behavior scientist, we're gonna review it. Certainly felt like it swapped her personality a lot though, but let's talk about it. I'm a scientist in both, you know, behavior and in computer science. It's pretty similar, yeah. The ending is like this episode for some reason. But I've already seen the ending, so it's like a unique ending. Yeah, it's not a song. Wonder why they do that for. Yeah, I wonder what his ending is changed for. It's like the horse is singing. Should return home or something? I'll never forget you. A silent oath, yeah, it's like the silent. It's a kind of special insert song, but there's no animation for it though, but yeah, it's a unique lyrics here. Yeah, that was a unique insert song. Oh, here we go. Now it's probably... I just keep thinking this is coming. Oh, here we go. Imoto-san! Imoto-san! Here we go. I said earlier. I called it, obviously. Imoto-san! Yeah, they're fighting. The sisters share the fight. Oni-san! 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 Here is right. Oni-san. He's Oni-san. Ruijerd, come on. I get a goosebump, guys. Goosebumps! It's big Oni-san! It's Oni-san! Rudy! I knew it! Obviously, it was obvious for him. It was obvious for him. Big Oni-san! It was obvious it was him, though. It was so obvious. Of course it was him that's gonna attack the sisters. Of course. That was obvious. I got a goosebump though, but that was obvious. I'm like, Oni-san! I knew it. Of course, Rudy. Who else was gonna be? But that was so obvious. Of course, it was Rudy. But yeah, let's review it. Here we go! Immortals! I think I knew it, man. We finally had the Immortals! I call it. I say, on this episode, we finally had the two little Immortals. And they have Oni-san with them. Big Oni-san. I was like, immediately, I was like, wait, who's gonna guard the girls? Oh, it has to be Rudy, the other Onishan. So, let's do that. Behavior scientist, whatever you call it, and also science. No, but it was an interesting episode, I think, for me especially, being all this advanced scientist dude that I am, right? But seriously, I mean, generally, I think I called the solution like immediately. I was like, oh yeah, they have to have a multi-layer system. It needs to be like in 3D, right? Honestly, to me, it felt very obvious that the way it has to work, right? You need to use multi-layers, so you need to like build up with that, right? So for example, in most, I think honestly, the best way to describe it, I would say, from a stiff standpoint, is kind of how a subway works. You know what I mean? A subway moves in more than one dimension, right? Not just like, you know, in that dimension, but I mean also up and down, right? Because think about it in that way, right? A subway is advanced in the sense that you can have more than one road or whatever, right? You can have one road on the same layer. You can have several trains moving, you know, underneath each other, right? And that makes it much more available. And also an interesting idea of why would you have flying cars if you have subways? But whatever, I digress. That's the way I immediately think about it, because she mentioned that it was similar to computer science, right? Like some kind of circuit board or something like that, right? And like, yeah, but a circuit board has several boards, and you have to have the layer of the different transistors and so on. So it's very, very limited, right? If you have a circuit board, it's only one fixed layer, like a 2D thing. So you need to have it in more than one way. And one way you can do it though, which is how you made swords in Japan and so on in the past, you can bend it, right? So one way you can do it is to take a metal thing or whatever, and then you bend it together. That's not a way to like, increase something. So for example, circuit boards, especially back in the days, you have, this on tech or whatever, right? And then you kind of bend it together. So it lays like this, top sure, and then you can have another one here and stack them and so on, right? Like it's stacked. But seriously, you need to have stuff like that, right? So for me, from a like, computer scientist standpoint, it's super obvious how they're gonna do it. Yeah, I was like, well, yeah, that obviously they have to like put the layers on. They have to make these magic circles. If the magic circle is basically like math or code, right? As she said, she looks like a mathematical thing, right? And they're building this like like a road, like a train or whatever, right? Well, of course you have to put it like in more layers, so you can have more energy or whatever in between, right? And more information rather. The way to look at from a data scientist, right? You have the layers because then you have more information per let's call it. I guess per area, I guess, whatever. On the floor, I guess. Yeah, like per square meter or whatever, you have more information, right? Then you can have more magic and you can summon stuff and so on. So yeah, of course, you have to move away from the 2D layer and like fixate it higher up. But anyway, I thought it was super obvious personally. I immediately was like, okay, I was cliffing it. I was like, okay, I immediately understand how this thing works. I don't know, but seriously. It would be interesting if someone actually did better in Isekai. I know some other Isekais, but they also use math and science to fight the magic and so on. But I haven't seen anyone who did really use math and science to use Isekais in a correct way. In my opinion, at least. I mean, I know there are some of them, but they're always very, shallow, But the Stone is probably the best science anime, right, Which is, I love that math and science. I have a freaking, Senku t-shirt. I love that song. But, yeah, as a scientist, it made a lot of sense. How they're gonna do it, and that's why I correctly, called it before they start doing it. Oh, they have to put multi-layer 3D, right? Yeah, and so on. But anyway, that's the computer science in me, right? Now let's become a behavior scientist. Let's talk about her state of mind, then, right? As I said in my season 1 reviews, I have also a degree in behavior science. I have many degrees, too many degrees. But anyway, behavioral standpoint, I do find Nanahoshi an interesting character. She's obviously very exhausted. It's probably like Rudy. I think the general issue for her is kind of like how you see Rudy's perspective, right? Is that, she probably isn't eating and so on. And that's probably very true. His instincts of her behavior is probably the most biggest of it. That obviously she's depressed and so on, but I mean, the outcome of her depression and her panic and so on, panic attack, so on, right? Is that she hasn't eaten right, she's sleeping together, she's not drinking enough, That's probably like the general issue, so to speak, or resulting issue, right? Not the underlying issue, but like, okay, she probably isn't very healthy, right? Generally speaking, from that, right, and so on. Now, I do think there has to be, I said earlier, and this is like a mixture now of science and anime as a writer, right? I think we need to have a little bit more of Nahoshi's backstory to really motivate this a little bit maybe. And I do understand that, of course, on a surface level, when I go back home, her in song makes sense, right? But like I said earlier, I do feel like her panic attack and so on, it does feel like it's motivated by something else than just when I go back to Earth. You know what I mean? And it sounds very simplistic, I know, but what I mean is like, well, like there has to be something else on Earth. You know what I mean? It feels like, I said earlier, it feels need to be like a sister or a dead, dying mom or something. It just feels strange that she's like so incredibly like, oh, I need to go back now, you know? So it feels like something underlying there, and I was hoping the episode was going to explain that maybe a little bit more. But I guess we still have the general thing of like, oh, I just want to go back to Earth because magic is bad or something. I don't like elves. Yeah, I don't want to live in an elf world. I have to admit that I usually find this character unrelatable to some extent. I have to admit it honestly a little bit here on a personal bias here. I do find it a little bit unrelatable with characters who want to go back to Earth, right? I think like me, you know, being a big Isekai fan, right? And you probably watching this thing, probably feel a similar thing, where she's like, well, why do you want to go back to Earth? You have no magic in Earth, you have no elf chicks there, there's no waifus. No, but you get, yeah, then speaking, you're like, no, but I want to stay in the fantasy world, right? That's why I always bring up FFTA as the best ever when the main character hates speaking Isekai, and everyone else except him loves the new fantasy world they're in, that he's like, I want to go back to Earth. And everyone else doesn't want to go back with him. This to me is like a little bit unrelatable to some extent, right? That maybe that's why I'm like, well, she better have a bigger reason than just want to go back to Earth. But anyway, from a general behavior standpoint, of course she is, you know, frustrated, right? Failing and so on. She's kind of hell-bent on only doing one thing, right? And she looked up together and so on. So the interesting episode in a sense that we can really see how she's, of course, changing now, right? I think the biggest change here is really later on when she's all happy, right? But I think for her, she's called the silent, right? Because she sits in her lab basically and tries to do this thing, right? And now the biggest change in the episode isn't actually that they summoned a plastic bottle or whatnot, right? I would say from her mind, her you know, so to speak, her sanity, I think it's much more valuable that they actually just hangs out with the other characters. Her and Cliff are like, you know, arguing about some, you know, medical matter or whatever, right? And then Eleni says like giving her a hug or whatever. Like that kind of stuff I think is much more important for her, right? She clearly has a depression here, and you know, it's probably isn't over after the part, so to speak, right? But it's like a slowly thing there. Because the thing with her character, she's basically been living in solitude, right? She's been living in this, like I said, in her own like castle, in her ivory tower, just doing her like mad science, right? And not really talking to anyone else, the silent, you know. And even if she can talk to them and so on, she has, you know, kind of put herself in that positioning to some extent, right? It's also a little bit self-caused here, right? Because she clearly is kind of like a distant person. I want to talk to you, and you know, so on. And that obviously has made her very, very isolated, right? And then, of course, when they help her, she's troubling to like thank them, and she's like, "Arigato," and she's sundering about and right. But her character, I guess, is written as a very pride, you know, very I would say so, very high pride woman. She's like, I will do it myself, you know, I am the smartest, whatever. Yeah, I don't need your help. I don't want some handouts. Yeah, and for one thing, she said that I think is very important. Is that she was like, well, I owe you nothing. I owe you nothing after I give you this food. Yeah. I think she's a character as a woman, which is a pretty, I would say common trait, but I feel always a pretty common trait in TV shows and all, that you have a woman that's very much like, I don't want to owe anyone anything, you know. I want to be completely debt-free in that sense. No life debt or whatever. I will just do my thing. Yeah, I feel she comes off a lot like that. She's just like, no, I don't owe you anything. Yeah, like when I give you this food, then we're done. Then we're even, right? Yeah, I feel she's a lot of that kind of personality where she's like, no, I don't want to have anyone, no debt to anyone, and so on. So that also probably a big reason why she's hiding away herself earlier. You know, as isolated, right? Because she doesn't want to have any help from anyone. She just don't want to feel that she has to like give someone back, which probably comes back to some extent, right? To her, of course, want to go back to Earth, right? Because she probably, she probably had a personality before going here as well, right? But now even more so, she might feel like, what if I owe Elenas or something, then I go back to Earth again? I can never repay her, right? She probably feels that that's bad. So I feel, yeah, as a character, Nanahoshi seems very motivated by like never owing anyone anything. And I think it's especially because she's trying to leave the planet, right? And then she probably will feel like, oh, I can never repay Rudy or Elenas or Cliff or whatever if they help me and I should owe them something. So that's probably like maximized for her. She probably always had this issue of this whole like I don't want to have any gratitude to anyone else, but especially now she feels like very very hell bent on like, oh, I'm alone. I don't need anyone else in my life. It's a big part of her plan probably. But anyway, so let's like review. Let's have about that and so on. Have a good guys, and of course tomorrow we're gonna have Stellar Blade, obviously Rudy's favorite game, right? And also tomorrow we have Illusion's 100 Heroes. But I probably with Stellar Blade, it's like because the game is like a Switch game. And yeah, I look forward to it. It's also a very waifu game, right? But I played the demo, and I think the gameplay was really good, you know. It was actually really good gameplay. And a lot of people are gonna hate Stellar Blade, because they hate Rudy or whatever, you know. So actually, yeah, I feel the same people that hate Rudy also play Stellar Blade, honestly. It's a big overlap there. But I played the demo, and I really liked the game. It felt very Sekiro, which is my favorite sort of game. The actual gameplay, the parrying and sword dueling and so on. So I think I'm really gonna enjoy Stellar Blade. It's in general, you know, like gameplay mechanic wise. So I'm quite excited for it. And honestly, all about the whole waifu thing and big butts or whatever, to me is secondary, right? You know, to me that's like, yeah, okay, it looks good, but for me it's all the gameplay, right? So I think it's a great game. I'll start playing it tomorrow after Area Monsters and so on. But also, of course, the author likes it. The author potentially likes Area Monster. So you see that reaction tomorrow after I play Stellar Blade. But yeah, I think Stellar Blade is gonna be a really good game. I genuinely think so, and it doesn't do with, you know, boobs and ass. I mean, like, I think it's a good game, you know, gameplay wise. At least I hope so. But here's I have a great day.